Hello learners, in this video I'm going to talk about the chairman, the qualities which is to be possessed by a chairman, and the duties and responsibilities of a chairman, and the powers which are to be possessed by a chairman. Now first let's look into the meaning of a chairman. The chairman is the head of the meeting. Generally the chairman of the board of directors is the chairman of the meeting. Unless the articles otherwise provide, the members present in person in the meeting elect one among themselves to act as a chairman of the company. So chairman should make sure that the functioning of the organization is smooth and the activities which are carried in the organization are in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act of 1956. And the chairman is also responsible for making sure that there is consensus or unanimity in the board decisions. Now let's look into the appointment of a chairman. Generally, the promoters are the people who are responsible for bringing the company into existence, nominate the first chairman of the company, and in case the promoters have not nominated the first chairman of the company, then when the first board meeting is held after the incorporation of the company, the directors will elect one among themselves to act as the chairman of the company. Now, the chairman who has been elected will act as the chairman even of the meetings of the company. Now, generally in the meetings of the company, if there is no chairman who is present within 15 minutes after the appointed time of the meeting, then the deputy chairman may become as the chairman, or if there is no deputy chairman elected, then the directors who are present in the meeting will elect one among themselves to act as the chairman of the meeting. If, however, none of the directors who are present are also willing to act as a chairman, then one of the members who is present in the meeting will become the chairman of the meeting. If after the election of the chairman, by show of hands, if a poll is demanded and taken and a different person is elected as a chairman, then the person who will be chair, then that person who is elected by a poll will become the chairman for the rest of the meeting. Now let's look into the qualities of a chairman. The person who is elected as a chairman must be courteous, polite, the person must be good natured, having an impressive personality, and they should also be impartial. The person who is elected as a chairman should also make sure that the provisions of the Companies Act regarding the holding of the meeting is properly compiled with, and the chairman should be able to address the meeting in the language which is understood by majority of the persons present, and the chairman must be a strict disciplinarian, having a good knowledge of the law and practice of the meetings. And the chairman must also be well versed about the powers and duties of the post of a chairman. And the chairman should also have a good knowledge about the affairs of the company. The chairman should also have an impressive personality and the qualities of leadership. And the chairman must make sure that every meeting is properly convened and duly constituted. So these are some of the qualities of a chairman. Now let's have a look at the duties of a chairman. The chairman is the head of the meeting. So basically the first duty of the chairman is to make sure that the meeting is properly convened and properly constituted. Properly convened and constituted means that making sure the chairman should make sure that whenever company meetings are held, it is held as per the provisions of the Companies Act of 1956. The chairman should make sure that there is a proper notice which has been served to the members before holding of the general meetings, and the required quorum is present in the meetings. And the chairman should make sure that the provisions of the Companies Act are followed for all kinds of company meetings, whether it is the shareholders meetings or the directors meetings. And the chairman should also make sure that the provisions of the articles of association regarding the meeting have also been or the procedures which have been listed in the articles have also been observed. The chairman should make sure that the items which are taken up for discussions in the meeting are as per the items which are set out in the agenda, and no business which is not mentioned in the agenda is taken up for a discussion unless the members have agreed upon it. The chairman should make sure that he or she should basically make sure that the meeting proceedings of the meeting are regulated in an impartial manner, and strict discipline is maintained regarding the conducting of the meeting. Now the chairman also has the powers to adjourn the meeting. Adjourn the meeting means postpone the meeting. So if the requisite quorum is not present for the meeting, quorum refers to the minimum number of members who should be present at a meeting. So if the minimum number of members who are required to be present in the meeting are not present, then in that case the chairman has the powers to adjourn the meeting. And whenever the adjournment of meeting happens, that is the postponing of the meeting, the chairman should make sure that all the necessary steps have been followed. And sometimes the chairman can also adjourn the meeting if there is too much of indiscipline in the meeting. And the chairman should also make sure he should exercise his power in the case of a poll in a correct manner. And the chairman has the power to exercise a casting vote. A casting vote is a vote which is exercised by the chairman when the decision is 50-50 in the case of any of the discussions which have happened in the meeting. Like if there is any matter which is put to vote and 50% of the members have been voted for the meeting and for the decision to be taken, and 50% have voted against the decision to be taken. So in such a deadlock situation, the chairman can exercise the casting vote. And whenever the chairman is exercising the casting vote, the decision of the chairman would be final and binding on all the members. But the chairman should also make sure that the casting vote is exercised in the interest of the company. So these are some of the duties of the chairman regarding to the exercising of a casting vote. Further, the chairman should also make sure that the persons who are attending the meeting are prevented from discussing matters in private, in whispers among themselves and in small groups. And whenever a poll is demanded by the prescribed number of members, the chairman should make sure that the poll is given to the members to take decisions. A poll is members can demand a poll when they want to take decisions through secret ballots. So that should be made sure by the chairman that the power to exercise a poll is given to the members. Then the chairman should also make sure that the minutes of every meeting are recorded and that the minutes of the last meeting are read at the beginning of every meeting. After the minutes are prepared by the secretary, the chairman should go through the minutes and sign them. And the chairman should also make sure that the amendments or the decisions which have been arrived in the meeting are properly taken. These are some of the duties of the chairman. Now let's look into some of the powers of the chairman. The first power of the chairman is to make sure or to decide the point of order and make sure that order and decorum is maintained in the meeting. So whenever a meeting is being convened, the chairman has to make sure that there is no use of unparliamentary language and there is no disorderly behavior of the members. If the directions of the chairman are not followed in the meeting, then the chairman has the power to make sure that the offending member is withdrawn from the meeting. And if the member refuses to leave the meeting, then the chairman has the power to remove the person from the meeting who is exercising indiscipline forcibly. Next is the chairman has the power to decide the priority of the speakers in every meeting. And when more than one member wishes to speak on the same matter or the same motion, then in that case the chairman has the power to decide the order of the priority of the speakers and in which they will be allowed to express their views. Next, the chairman also has the power to decide the point of order. So whenever the meeting is convened and any member is speaking on any motion, which is the other members may get up and they may raise a point of order. If the other member thinks that what the member is speaking is irrelevant, then in such a case, when the point of order is raised, the chairman's decision is final and binding on the members. Now, the point of order is similar to whenever there is a lawsuit which is taking place in a court or when there is an argument happening in the court of law. We find lawyers from both the sides talking. So sometimes when the lawyer from one party is talking or the prosecution side is talking, the defending lawyer may get up and tell that the point which the defending or the prosecution is talking about is irrelevant. In such a case, the judge will decide whether the point of order is valid or not. So if the judge feels that the prosecuting lawyer is talking irrelevant information about the case, then he can ask the particular prosecution to stop talking about the irrelevant matter. So similarly, like how a lawsuit discussion happens in the case of company meetings also, if any speaker is speaking on a topic which is or giving information which is not relevant to the topic, then the chairman has the power to exercise the point of order and stop the person from things which are irrelevant to the topic which is being discussed. Next is the chairman also has the powers to stop the discussions on a matter. Now, if the chairman feels that the discussions which is taking place or the motion has been sufficiently discussed for a long time, then the chairman has the power to stop the discussion and put the matter to vote. Next, the chairman also has the powers to adjourn the meeting. Now, at the beginning of every meeting, a quorum has to be ascertained. Quorum refers to the minimum number of members which have to be present in the meeting. So, if this quorum is not present, then the chairman has the power to adjourn or postpone the meeting. Next, the chairman also has the powers to exercise a casting vote. Now, chairman will exercise a casting vote or a deliberate vote if there is a tie. So, when the number of votes which are cast in favor and against the motion are equal, then the chairman has the power to exercise the casting vote. Generally, the articles of every company provide for the casting of vote by the chairman, but the chairman, whenever he is exercising a casting vote, should make sure that the casting vote is exercised in the best interest of the company. Next, the chairman also has the powers to grant a poll. When the members demand a poll, the chairman has the power to grant it. Like whenever a discussion or a decision is being taken in the company, there are different methods of voting: by show of hands, by standing. So instead of a show of hands or standing, if the members present want a poll to be conducted for the taking the decision, then the chairman has the powers to grant a poll. Lastly, the chairman also has the powers to reject a decision. If the chairman feels that the decision so arrived by the majority of the members is against any of the provisions of the Companies Act, or is outside the purview of the Articles of Association, or if any decision is arrived outside the agenda, then in such cases the chairman has the power to reject a decision. So these were some of the powers of the chairman.